After successfully defeating the fox demon, the second part of this donghua continues with Hongjun and his comrades, who rushed after Artai and Yongsi, who was about to follow the fox demon to Yaojin Palace. Because a royal palace is a forbidden place and one cannot just enter, they decide to wait for Jinglong and the others as they are afraid that the demon will trap them. Realizing the complicated situation they were in right now, Jinglong acted with extreme caution, especially if a demon is disguised as a human in the palace and is quite close to the emperor. He then borrowed Rigen's bow and arrows, and relying on his sharp hearing, he finally managed to shoot at the fox demon named Jinyun. Since the other two fox demons had died, Jinglong interrogated Jinyun to get information about the demons that roam Chang'an city. However, she chose to remain silent, so he left it to his superior, Commander Hu, to imprison her at the Imperial Army headquarters. However, all of that turned out to be a ploy to trap the devil, who was the mastermind behind the appearance of the demons that roamed in Chang'an city. That night, Jinglong and the exorcists infiltrated the Imperial Army headquarters. They discovered that Jinyun had been freed by a demon named Feiyao, who appeared to be a high-ranked demon within their organization. After killing Jinyun, Jinglong and his comrades were involved in a fierce battle against Feiyao, who turned out to be a dragon demon figure who fought Hongjun when he first arrived in Chang'an. When cooperating with each other, Hongjun and the others became very difficult to beat, so Feiyao became desperate and chose to run away from the fight. Jinglong and his comrades did not necessarily remain silent. They rushed after Feiyao, who apparently fled to the Datang Palace. This palace is considered a symbol of the kingdom and one of the palaces where the emperor takes care of everything related to government. Even Jinglong couldn't just go in there because if they acted rashly, the exorcism department would be disbanded, and they would all be punished. However, Jinglong still took the risk to enter the palace for the safety of the emperor and the residents of Chang'an city. Since the emperor was in Yaojin Palace at the moment, the guard at Datang Palace was not so strict, so they could easily sneak there. They finally found the whereabouts of Feiyao, who was mourning Jinyun's death. Furious that they had killed Jinyun, Feiyao went berserk and launched a barrage of attacks. With solid cooperation, they finally managed to corner him, and Jinglong then stabbed Feiyao with his sword, killing him. Unfortunately, even though Jinglong and his comrades defeated Feiyao, their actions got opposition from some palace officials who thought about the damage caused by the fight against the demons than the safety of the citizens. They even thought that the existence of demons in the palace could be allowed if they didn't make any trouble that could cause damage. Jinglong became very irritated when he heard those words. Moreover, he and the exorcists had sacrificed their lives to protect them from the attacks of the demons who wanted to resurrect the Black Jia and annihilate all mankind on this earth. Even though Jinglong had warned of the possibility of a demon attack far more terrifying than before, the palace officials still ignored him. Instead, they threatened to disband the exorcism department soon, as they didn't want any damage to the palace from the fight against the demons. An annoyed Jinglong couldn't say any defense and then left the place. He chose to keep a secret about the exorcism department that might be disbanded from Hongjun and the other exorcist, because he felt bad for them, who were willing to sacrifice their lives while fighting against the demons. As a leader, Jinglong will think of a way out of all these problems. Not long after, Jinglong and the exorcists discussed their next steps to uncover the actions of the demons who had managed to infiltrate the palace. He asked Artai and Rigen to return to the investigation at the beauty house, while Hongjun and Yongsi would infiltrate the Royal Academy to seek information because, before his death, Feiyao told Jinyun about the imperial examination. When visiting the Royal Academy, Hongjun and Yongsi felt the presence of a huge demon, which indicated that most of the students studying there were demons disguised as humans. Even, Yongsi recognized that one of them had taken the identity of a student whose body was found by Jinglong and Hongjun at the beauty house. Jinglong concluded that the demons secretly killed the students at the Royal Academy, then disguised themselves as them to take the imperial examination. Since the students who successfully passed the imperial examination would be employed in the palace, the demons took advantage of the opportunity to dominate the kingdom. Knowing that there is a possibility that the exam questions will be leaked so that the demons can pass the exam easily, Jinglong and the exorcists then devise a plan to thwart the imperial examination. However, the demons seemed to know that they had been spied on, so the timing of the imperial examination was accelerated. Upon learning that, Jinglong became even more convinced that several demons had infiltrated the palace and disguised themselves as palace officials who had considerable influence to change the test time. However, this did not stop Jinglong and his comrades from carrying out their plans. The following day, they infiltrated the palace hall, where the imperial examination was held. At the same time, General Gao arrived at the palace hall and acted as the exam supervisor. He immediately recognized Jinglong and ordered his men to arrest them because they were deemed to have no interest in being in the palace hall. Jinglong said that the exorcism department was doing its job of capturing the fox demons disguised as examinees. But General Gao didn't believe his words regarding the attack on the demon earlier. Instead, he revealed that the exorcism department would be disbanded within 3 days. Hongjun and the exorcists who heard that the exorcism department would be disbanded were shocked. Still, since their division would only be disbanded in 3 days, they would continue their mission of capturing the fox demons disguised as students of the Royal Academy. Long story short, Jinglong and the exorcists finally managed to capture the fox demons disguised as examinees, which was confirmed to be over 200. At the same time, the emperor arrived there and witnessed the massive capture of the fox demons by Jinglong and the exorcists. Shortly afterward, Jinglong immediately went to the emperor and explained all the attacks of the demons in Chang'an City and the possibility of a bigger attack to take over the empire. After listening to Jinglong's explanation, the emperor ordered that the fox demons be burned and the exorcism department would not be disbanded. They will instead get special authority to use any means possible to eradicate all demons that threaten the safety of all the residents of Chang'an City. In the following days, the exorcism department investigated 2 murder cases in different places. Still, they have one thing in common: the perpetrators of these murders act as if they are being controlled by a demon who then makes them kill the people around them. Still not finding any clues to uncover the truth of these cases, Jinglong and the exorcists are shocked by the appearance of a man who claims to have been possessed by a demon and kills his family. They finally found an important clue in the form of dragon scales at one of the crime scenes, where Yongsi then concluded that the dragon scales were the scales of a water demon dragon. Jinglong then ordered them to split up to find the whereabouts of the demon dragon that might be hiding in the waters. In the middle of the search, Hongjun and Artai came across a suspicious magic formation. Before they had time to investigate the magic formation, suddenly, a demon dragon appeared and attacked them. At first, Hongjun and Artai seemed overwhelmed by the demon dragon, so they worked to defeat it. They managed to push the demon dragon into a frenzy, but just as they were about to kill it, the demon dragon ran away instead. Hongjun and Artai then returned to the base and realized that someone may have framed them by placing dragon scales in the crime scenes, as well as the appearance of the magic formation. Therefore, they split up to find the whereabouts of Jinglong, Rigen, and Yongsi. While Artai was investigating the center of the city, Hongjun returned to the location where the magic formation was found and was accidentally absorbed into the world below. There, Hongjun met Jinglong, Rigen, and Yongsi, who turned out to have been there first and were now being chained and locked up in an enchanted iron cage. Not only that, but he also met the figure of himself who was cruel and violent, and they were then involved in a fierce battle. However, Hongjun soon realized that the figure he was fighting was not an ordinary demon but Sue Luo, a devil cultivated from mortals' blood-soaked pain and bitterness. Sue Luo is cultivated from blood and takes its form after drinking blood. Due to gaining power by absorbing one's blood, he could transform into anyone whose blood had been sucked by him. Hongjun, who lost the battle against Sue Luo, was then sealed, and his magic power was absorbed by a mysterious figure. On the other hand, Artai had to deal with 2 demons at once, and both of them were also very formidable, so even he was quite overwhelmed by them. When Artai becomes desperate, suddenly, he is saved by someone mysterious. Turning back to Hongjun and the others, they finally discover that the mastermind of all the demonic attacks in Chang'an City is Lady Guo, one of the most important officials in the palace, who has close ties to the emperor. Lady Guo then reveals that her real plan is to make Sue Luo the emperor so they can take power. However, Hongjun said the emperor would not be so easily tricked and killed by the demons because he had a strong protector. Upon hearing that, Lady Guo casually said that she would put the emperor under house arrest while she would control Sue Luo, who would replace the emperor in ruling the kingdom. Knowing that Hongjun was related by blood to Kong Suan, she immediately became furious because it turned out that the demonic woman really hated Kong Suan, who had killed her sister. Lady Guo plans to kill Hongjun to avenge her. But then, she remembered something important, so she decided to leave from there and asked one of her demons to keep an eye on them. After Lady Guo left, Hongjun and the others tried to fight the guardian demon. However, the demon turned out to be much stronger than Feiao, so they had a hard time fighting him. Even the demon can turn into the figure of a giant demon dragon. It didn't stop there. The 2 demons who previously fought Artai suddenly appeared and immediately launched a barrage of attacks so that Jinglong and the exorcists became even more desperate. When the demon was about to kill Jinglong, lying helpless, he suddenly got such a powerful magic power when his consciousness managed to fuse with the heart light. With the magic power of the heart light, he became very overpowered and could easily defeat the demons. After successfully defeating his enemies, the power of the heart light within Jinglong disappears, and he returns to being an ordinary human. Yongsi immediately inspected Jinglong's body and told him that his body would be permanently damaged if he overextended himself using the heart light's magic power. At the same time, Artai, who realized that his comrades were trapped in a dimension that was under the magic formation, then tried to communicate with them. When they finally connected, Jinglong immediately told him everything that had happened, including about Lady Guo, and asked Artai to hurry to the palace and protect the emperor. While Artai rushed towards the palace, Jinglong and his comrades tried to escape and finally managed to teleport to the palace right in front of the emperor. Apparently, Lady Guo had carried out her plan and anticipated their arrival. She ordered the royal soldiers she had previously enchanted to attack Jinglong and the exorcists. A fierce battle ensued between them until finally, Artai arrived at the palace with Zilong, who then spread the soulless pollen, thus breaking the magic that cast a spell on the royal soldiers, who were then ordered by the emperor to attack Lady Guo. Realizing that the situation was no longer in her favor, Lady Guo then showed her true form, a nine-tailed female fox demon. Seeing this, Jinglong and the exorcists then prepared to face the fox demon. This is the end of the second part of this series. To know more about their journey, please stay tuned on this channel, because in Season 2, we will see if they could defeat the nine-tailed female fox demon or not.